What is good, y'all? It's your boy Babies, and yes, I said your boy. A lot of people in the game, I don't know why, cause I'm mic'd up, but a lot of people in the game think I'm a girl, cause my name is Babies. I did not think Babies was a gender, but to some people it is. Make that make sense. But I'm coming out here with the double bow build. A lot of people have been asking me for the build. Told me it's a nice build, it's a crazy build, it's pretty unique, this and that. As far as gear set, it's pretty simple gear set. You would know what it is if I'm fighting you, or if you know if you're keeping up with the gears, you know what it is. But I'm still gonna post a vid just for the people that don't know, or the people that do want to play a double bow build that is ponent on everything. Yes, you can use this build in 1v1s. You can use this build in BGs, no CP. You can use this build in open world 1vx is what I usually use it on. I do be in BG sometimes too. You're doing crazy damage. You're doing about like mil plus every game. It is not a gank build. I'm sorry for you gankers. This is the wrong build. It's not a gank build. If you need that, Salmon has the gank builds for the bows, but this is more of a open playstyle, like a normal 1vx build, 1v1 build. You can it's just with the bows. It's crazy. It's actually unique. You can actually 1v1 people with a bow now. It's pretty cracked. Start off with the stat sheets. We are a Khajiit. The best race would be a Wood Elf. I'll let you guys know now. Best race is Wood Elf, but this is my main. I do theory craft a lot. I do wear a lot of different builds. I used to be a bomber or Nightblade, Blade. I swap a lot of stuff, so I keep it Khajiit, rest all around. But if you want to stay at Stam, you want to be the highest possible damage and recoveries on this build, Wood Elf. Dark Elf works, and Orc works, Imperial works. Those all work. Sorry, I'm a little sick. That's why my voice is kind of like parched, but those all work. As far as your foods, we're rocking dubious. Lava, not lava, yeah, lava soup works too. I like dubious, extra HP. It's good for me. It's what I like. Serpent, like I said, I'm not a wood elf, so I went with the serpent. You can go with penetration one lover or shadow if you were to be like a wood elf, but serpent is good for me. Stats, 64 pointers to stam. I don't really care too much about having 30k HP. I move a lot. I know how to maneuver. If I die, I die. Adding a little extra HP not gonna save you from a one shot or something like that. But recoveries and everything else, they're pretty stable. Only thing that would go up from buffs, because if you played a bow build, you know you don't really have many buffs as a bow. So the only thing that would go off is just probably like your resistance. Everything else pretty much stays the same. Back bar, you have less pen of course, but we don't care about the pen in the back bar because we only have one skill. So it's just pretty much just your set stats at all times. It goes up a little bit from some skills when they proc, but you'll see that in a bit. Gear, let's start off with the potions. Pretty simple. Try potions. Any of these two works. They're both pretty good. Double dot poisons, just because we're pretty much keeping pressure on people at all time. This is to me by far the best pressure. You can do a shot glyphs or the decrease the oblivion damage glyph for your bow, but I prefer double dots. It's the strongest pressure with this build in my opinion. First set, if you've been keeping up with the new gears, you know what this is. If you haven't, putting you on the drip. This thing is crazy. Sharpen just for the rest of the skills, but sharpen kind of decreases the damage on this, but you know we can sacrifice that for our other skills. You see the 2-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece, those are crazy. I like how it's offensive penetration for the 4-piece and not physical or spell, because then you can use this on a mag or a stam. It's pretty good. But stunning people or immobilizing them causes them to explode pretty much for 26% of their physical and spell damage. So them tanky boys are getting blown up, them squishy boys are getting blown up, and they're doing damage to everybody around them for 28 meters. And that's 28 meters, I'm sorry, and that's not 28 meters. Don't go thinking you're gonna blow up the whole Cerato. It's 8 meters, my apologies. Bat ball, we got Master's Bow. Powered because we don't have many heals, so we need to buff up the heals. If you were to be like running a bit of other skills that I'm going to show you, you can probably put just defending, but I like powered back bar for the extra heals, weapon enchantment, weapon damage enchantment, and also, you know, Master's Bow. When you hit them with the poison, they get the extra 300. I believe if you gold is out, it's a little bit higher, but it's not golded out. I do have the materials, I just haven't done it. But it's a little bit higher, but you still get weapon damage for hitting them with poison inject, so that's pretty good. Both of those procking pretty much at the same time, makes your front bar skills hit a lot harder. That's great. Battle Orcs, that's our monster set. You can run a mythic, get the scissors on there, or bring in a wild hunt. It can be a fast boy, but I just like this setup how I have it right now, but it is like up for changing a few stuff. You don't have to go, you know, with the cookie cutter exact build. Battle Orcs, you know what it does. This is kind of for the newer players, it's kind of a harder dungeon to do in vet if you're not getting carried, so you can also go with different monster set like Vulcan Scaroria or like Slime Crawl, but if you do go Slime Crawl, we have to change some of our skills, which I will show you which they are. Blood Spawn maybe, so you when you take damage, you also have more recoveries, but when you take damage you get more ultimates and more resistance, so it's kind of easier for people who makes more mistakes. That's pretty good. Other set we have here is Plague Break, another one of the new sets. You see it, offensive penetration. I love how they're doing that. And then a 3-piece, 4-piece, weapon and spell, and then this one is awesome. The dot is crazy cracked. It's a dot on people pretty much at all time. It procs off of anything and it has no cooldown. So one light attack and you have the dot on you. If you're a Templar or a Warden or a Necro where you're purging and cleansing, that actually explodes and hit people is also for 8 meters. So you see where I'm going here, 8 meters here, 8 meters here. You're pretty much a bomber with a bow. It's crazy. Dots on everybody. There's no cooldown. There's no cooldown, so I can light attack you, light attack your cousin next to you, and your mom behind you. I light attack all of y'all, and y'all all have this shit proc. It's crazy. For the way I'm going right now, I am doing 3-3-1, but it is 3 medium and 3 heavy, 1 light. You can do 3 medium, 3 light, 1 heavy, but then you would have to change your Julie to the Rothgar. I don't have Rothgar. I have Play Break, infuse all 3, 1 recovery, because I am a Widow. I am a Khajiit, not a Widow. Widow would be the best. You have more recovery, so you can change this to weapon damage, but right now I just have 2 weapon damage, 1 recovery. Keep that on there good. All stam, and then 2 triunes. You can reason I have these 2 triune is because I use this on mag and stam on my other builds, so I only have 1 set of this, so I keep this both triumphs. But ideally you would want your chest and legs triumphs, because that would give you the most stats out here for it, but this is just what I have for varieties on my other characters. And as far as the traits as well, this is not fully optimized yet, so keep that in mind. You would want to go, at least for my preference, everybody has their different preference, so you can do impens on there, or if you want to be more a ganker guy and change your Mondays, you can go full divines. But I would like to have full well fitted and 2 divines for more recovery, or full well fitted and 2 impens, one of those 2, but I'm most likely full well fitted. Nothing else. It's just my preference, but you guys can do whatever you guys prefer. It's not like you're stuck on whatever I do, you know what I mean? Skills are pretty simple on the skills. We have lethal arrow. This is the snipe shot. This one does poison damage. I believe the other one is physical. So this one does more damage to the werewolves. And also, it makes people heal less and their recovery is less if you're in the bottom. 8% reduction on both your healing and your recovery, so that's good. The other one brings down their resistance, which is also good, but it makes your Rothgar hit for less, so I went with this one. I like it. People heal less. They can't really heal from the pressure. Magnum shot to CC. This will proc Rothgar, so this is good. Bombard is also another CC. I would say CC, but it's another immobilization, so it'll also proc Rothgar, and it decreases their movement speed by 40%. So if you keep throwing this on people, they all blow up and they move slow. And that's pretty decent damage too. It's not too crazy. It's not too bad. We got Relentless Focus. As a Nightblade, you always want this on your front bar. If you don't, then you're crazy. But you know, 5 light attacks proc the bow thing. You throw that out there, 15k damage. You heal for 33%. It's really good. If you're a different class, obviously like Stam Sorks, you can probably put on like Crystal Frags in the front or something here. Like you change it up for a different class, but this one I'm showing you on a Nightblade. Camouflage Hunter. The buff is crazy on this. It's pretty cracked buff. It's nice. It's a nice buff. You get the Berserk. You get more crit rating. It's really good. Ballista. I went with this morph just because I'm constantly playing like solo or with like a few friends, and I don't really like to be like standing there without constantly moving. The other bow morph, you kind of like just channel it and you're just stuck on there. With this, I just throw this down, hit them with a magnum shot, and they explode from Rothgar, then hit them with a bombard and they're stuck, just taking crazy dots while also getting hit by the ballista at the same time. So you can do boom, 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 and if this is ready, boom, and then just like they all die. With the other morph, you just stuck on there, and it's, yeah, I prefer this one. But if you like the other one, you can try it. Just telling you, for the highest pressure possible. I know the other one has a higher tooltip, but for the most pressure possible, you want to have this one. Mirage in the back bar. You can also put Relentless Path, just because Refreshing Path, just because we don't have that much healing on here. Our only really main heals is Vigor and then Leeching Strikes from light and heavy attacks, which we do a lot. So you can put that other one, or you can put, what's it called, the one from the Sigic, the Channel Acceleration, the other more for it. You can, it's just whatever you like. This is kind of a flex. I like Mirage just because, like I said, I'm constantly alone, just doing my own thing, or with a few friends, so we're constantly taking a lot of pressure. This is really good. Everybody's a Templar, so they're spamming you with jabs. This is really good versus it. More resistance. It's pretty good. Poison Inject. Obviously, we got to use this on the back bar. We have the Master's Bow, so we need to proc it. I went with this more of the one for the like pretty much execute. The other one, it puts people off balance if they're popping a skill or something like that. But I use most of my CCs in the front bar, and I'm pretty much in the front bar at all times. Back bar is just to heal and throw my buffs. So I just throw this on there for the buff, and then I swap straight to the front bar, which is good because they have a 10-second up on at all times. And 10 seconds is enough time for me to throw this and this and then spam this, and they pretty much die. So they're taking more pressure with this morph. It's pretty good. Vigor, you gotta have it. We don't have many heals. If you had like a two-handed back bar, so you can throw a rally on there and swap this. But we're rocking a double bow, obviously. So this is the pretty much main heal we have. Leeching Strikes is also kind of another heal, but this one, you have to actually attack people. So your main heal is this. This one gives you good recoveries too, though. And then Cloak. If you want it to be tankier, you can go with a Dark Cloak for the heal and the mitigation on it, but I like this one better. If you go Dark Cloak, I would swap it. You can keep both of these and be crazy tanky, but if you were to go Dark Cloak, I would swap this for Channel Acceleration for sure. That's just my preference. Ultimate Undo, you know, minor protection, take less damage, you know, it's pretty good. I like to pretty much optimize this so you can walk around by yourself and not need to, like most bow builds, you're a ganker. You can't really, well, you can gank by yourself, but like if you're like a snipe spammer, you can't really walk around an X and try to get pressure on everybody by yourself because you're gonna get blown up. With this, you have like pretty much everything. Your recoveries, I mean your resistance are pretty decent. And when I show you the CP, you'll see that your recoveries are also going to be pretty good on par. So let me go ahead and get into the CP. Damage wise, we are using Fighting Finesse for the crit. That one's really good. Crit damage, crit healing, 2% per stage, 10% in total. You have more crit damage, more healing. Nightblade, you're always critting, so that's amazing. Master's Arm for direct damage. Every DPS has this. I don't even gotta explain it. If you don't want to increase your damage by 10%, then I don't know what you're doing. This one, Deadly Aim. I use this just because I want to have more damage on my ultimate and my snipe, my bombard. I mean, not my bombard, my magnum shot. But if you ideally kind of really like Biting Aura, you kind of really like to put that on if you kind of want to go with the build how it should be played. But I just like this just for an all-around. But the build is mainly around Bombard and the Explosion from Rothgar, which are both AoEs, so you would use this. I just like the diversity, so I went with this one. If you guys want to go more diverse, you would go with that as well. Ironclad is a new one that came out. If you were playing while the old CP setup was out, you remember Ironclad. Ironclad is goated. Keep Ironclad, put on Ironclad. You already know. And then as far as the red tree, new one as well, movement speed, need those 10% faster. You can move around the Zerg a lot faster. This is where I was talking about the sustain. While you have a stasis effect on you, your skills cost 25% less, which is pretty good because you have a stasis effect on you pretty long time. A lot of the time you have one on you, so that's awesome. Same with this, negative effects, you have this on you pretty much at all times, so you can add an extra 150 to the recovery that you saw before on all around, so that's good. And then just extra HP, because I don't really want to get one-shotted. You can go with the recovery one. This one got nerfed, so it does, if you get all of them, it's only like 90 or something like that. But you can put that one on there if you're running low and sustain, and take this out. Probably put more into HP passive if you want to get more HP, but I think this is the best way to go. You can put this one on also, but like I said, I would say the HP is the best way to go. And then green tree, no one really cares about this, but I'll just tell you what I have, I guess. The food one, save money. The poison ones, I use a lot of poison, so this one's actually a really good one. This one, I would say you need this one, because use a lot of poisons. I have 2,000 on me, so then you kind of, if they don't waste, and you kind of save some money. Movement speed 1, so when you're moving around Cyrodiil, that's really good. It costs 100, letting y'all know it's expensive, but it's really good. And then your auto combat movement speed, just when you're moving around and stuff, it's pretty good. It's not really, none of the ones in the green is like you need these. They're just good to have like extra. That's pretty much the build. As far as the combo, I might throw a little combo vid up. If not, I'm sorry, but this build, it's like I said earlier, it's built for everything. 1v1s, I might throw some clips on there, or make another vid with the combo and clips and all that stuff. 1v1s is pretty crazy, it's pretty fun. I've had a lot of people tell me the build is unique, it's nice. I'm always in Davin's watch, so I'm always doing like the good duel people, and yes, I don't win all of them, I lose a lot, but you do win a lot. There's a lot of people that are running just 1v1 only builds. This is an open world build that works on everything. So yeah, I might put some gameplay up. If not, it'll probably be in a different vid. I'll probably start throwing a lot of the unique build videos, because a lot of people have been asking me for a lot of my builds. So I might start throwing them out there. So yeah, boys, be easy.